Hello guys, now we are on the fourth game in the Ivan Sokolov's strategical masterpieces. Let's see the game. It's played between Sokolov as white and Georgiev as black in Palma de Mallorca in 1989. This is a Torre Attack game, and let's see the game. It's d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6, bishop g5, c5, e3, queen b6. This is the sharpest way to answer the Torre attack, but snatching the b2 pawn at such an early stage of the game often turns out to be far too risky. Now knight bd2, queen takes b2, bishop d3, knight to c6. Here d5 may be more accurate. Planning to meet c4 with queen c3 and here if at all then here c4, then queen c3, then bishop to e2, then knight to e4 comes. So white should probably continue here instead of c4, white must go bishop takes f6, and after g takes f6, then c4 with compensation for pawns. But black played here knight c6, then white castled. Now d5, and if at all c takes d5, I mean d4, white secures compensation after rook to b1, queen takes a2, now e takes d4. Alternatively, black could decide to retreat his queen immediately with queen b6 and rook b1, then queen to c7. So here, but black played d5, then bishop takes f6, g takes f6, then c4, then knight to b4. Here queen c3 would be answered by bishop to e2. If c takes d4 is played, then white plays c takes d5. Now bishop to e2. Here instead of retreating the bishop, white could have tried knight to b3. This would work out fine in case of knight takes b3, I mean knight takes d3, and queen takes d3, and after b5, cd5, c4, queen to e4, cb3, and now d takes e6. Now queen to c2, then queen takes a8. But after knight to b4, bishop e2, then black plays queen a3. If at all here queen to c2 here, then queen takes c2, knight takes c2. Now rook is c1, knight to b4, a3, knight c6, now cd5, now after queen a3, now white plays e4. The moment has come to open the center. If at all cd5, then knight takes d5, then bishop b5 check, then bishop to d7, then knight to c4. Then black could get more than enough for his queen. After queen to b4, rook b1, and bishop takes b5. Now rook takes b4, then c takes b4. So now but white plays e4 here. Now d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop e7, then queen to d2, and bishop d7, queen f4, long castles, knight takes f6, c takes d4. Here in case of the immediate bishop c6, white gets the advantage by knight e4, and if c takes d4, then queen takes f7, bishop takes e4, queen takes e6 check. After c takes d4 and knight takes d4, now bishop to c6, knight to b5, now queen to a5. If at all bishop takes b5, white generates threats on h1 a8 diagonal that are too powerful. For example, now after c takes b5, bishop d6, now queen e4, king to b8, then bishop f3, now knight to d5, now rook a d1. So after queen to a5, now knight e4, bishop takes e4, queen takes f7, an original sacrifice. The resulting pin along the h3 c8 diagonal is more than sufficient compensation for a piece. Now rook d7, queen takes e6, bishop c6, bishop g4, h5. This is the only way to prevent immediate loss, because here rook to e8 fails to rook a d1, queen to d8, knight takes a7, if king b8, then queen to e5 check. If rook king a8, then bishop takes f7. So now after bishop to g4 and h5, now bishop h3, bishop d8, rook a d1, rook h7. Black has managed to defend against the direct threats, but one little move now throws him off balance. That is a3. Now knight to c2, and here knight a6 allows knight takes a7 check, while knight to a2 probably puts up the most resistant. White could then choose between the calm rook to d3 with a substantial advantage and an ongoing attack, and or even the spectacular rook d6 with such ideas as rook e7. After rook to e7, now rook takes c6 check, and if at all white takes it, now I mean black takes it, now queen takes c6 check and bishop to c7, and now knight d6 is coming. So then after rook e7, rook takes c6 check. If king b8, then queen to d6 check, rook takes d6, then rook to c8 mate. So then here knight goes to c2, then after knight c2 there is queen g6, rook h e7, queen takes c2, a6. I think the knight couldn't escape anymore. If at all this is played, bishop takes, then queen takes h7 is played. The rook is in pin here, so double attack. After queen takes a6, then queen a7 check, and black resigned here. So guys, I hope you would have enjoyed the game, and it was very illustrative. So I'll be meeting you in the next game. Thank you all.